Take you back to the story that we've been monitoring for you. 6 people having been killed and 5 others injured in Ennerdale here in Johannesburg. Police believe 4 suspects tried to rob street vendors who were selling chicken feet, but they resisted, and that's when the attack took place. The incident happened at the corner of Beatrice and Phillip Streets in Finetown last night. I'm joined now by our eNCA reporter Pule Letshwiti-Jones that has been on the scene and in the area for the last couple of hours or so. Pule, you spoke to family members just a short while ago, and one can't help but just be struck by how shocked this family still is. As well they should be, because this was a normal Saturday night where people were selling chicken feet, as they do around that time on a Saturday night, and it all just went horribly wrong. What more can you tell us?
Yeah, I mean, Masal, I must also say that crime is really out of hand in this country, and something really has to be done about it. I mean, imagine having a child and trying to make means for the house, selling chicken feet, and then just get shot because he or she refused to give their phone to criminals. I mean, this is something which is quite, horrible to describe it, and it's something that I think more law enforcement agencies can have a look at, to say more police presence and more boots are needed on the ground. I mean, we speak about what we are told there's less police vehicles patrolling in this area. When load shedding, kicks in, this becomes a playground for criminals, becomes a haven for criminals to attack and terrorize this community. But what I can understand on authority, what we've confirmed, is that the police commissioner, Elias Mawela, says that they have deployed resources to their maximum capacity to apprehend the suspects. 11 people were shot, 6 confirmed dead, 4 confirmed dead on the scene, 2 died in hospital, 5 were injured, and that's just how it is. I spoke to family members earlier on who were quite traumatized by this incident, and we do understand that there's an investigation underway looking into 6 counts of murder. Let me step aside from shots so you can have a look at the place where the families are currently are. On your screen, you're seeing some of the church members who are visiting this affected family who lost some of their loved ones during this fatal shooting as well. It was something that's quite terrific. But I must also bring something to your attention. When we arrived in this community and started looking for directions, community members were hesitant to help us because they're quite traumatized. They think every car that stops by is someone who's trying to rob them. But at the core of this as well, we also saw a very similar, strange pattern. No one seemingly wants to talk except for the family members. Some are saying they don't want to be seen as what one would call impimpi, formerly known as, snitches, or, someone who would informers rather, who would tell us what had happened. And therefore, we're just getting primary information from family members. We were told that the community member of this area is still out of this community for now. He will be back soon, and that's just what we're relying on for now. But I just want to see if maybe we can speak to one of the elders here who can tell us what had happened. He lost one of his children in this fatal shooting as well. Tate, thank you very much. A ke batla o bue ka investigation, mara ko por tlhalosetse gore wena o ikutla yang. I mean, o latlhegetswe le ena magolo sa mo yona.
No, mina wa makashonanga.
Akashonanga, okay.
Ya kodwa usesibhedlela.
Usesibhedlela.
Usesibhedlela. Akashonanga. Ushayekela eSpanel Court. Engibathole bashonile ilobe lapha uhlala eSpringbok nalo lenzansi. Laba abayithungu vele ngandlula kubo sebalele phansi. Because mina bese ngilele ngaleso sikhathi mangabe kwenzakala lonto le.
Enzakani ngalo sikhathi bani lento?
I think like 9, somewhere like 9. Engakabi late. Bongakashayi no 9 because umfana wami ngiyamtshena every day kufuneka ngene ngo 9 lapha. Ngicabanga ukuthi bengakashayi ukuthi kuphela bese ngilele. Masifike esibhedlela I think bekula kubo 10:30.
Moti bongumtshela every day ukuthi angene ngo 9, is it because of the crime enzakala le community?
Yeah, bandi ukuthi ahambe ebusuku. Ukuthi namanje bengithi ngifuna kumbheka manje bathi ngayi namhla ngiye kusasa. Ngoba yena benganazana lapha elona. Engizwe ubuhlungu ngoba labantwana laba abalimelela. Nasi baba bambili inkunzi. Usisi wabo abengeke avume ukuthi umfowabo adutshulwe athathelwe imali.
Manje yona counseling baba kwenzakala tholile counseling?
No, akasayitholi.
Umntwana udokotela bathi umntwana uzophila bathi kanjani uyarecover kahle
hayi bathe awuzoba right yena nami ngimbonile ukuthi awuzoba right because after I trip uvele wabonakala right.
umtutshila how many times?
Ngathi two ngoba ngathi la ku-elbow nala ngemuva kodwa ngathi ayingenanga ku-spinal side lapha elongenele esayidini angazi ukuthi ibhashwe kuphi.
Izizwa njani kodwa?
Ngizizwa kabuhlungu ukuthi nje namhla kungconywana kufani nayizolo yabo ukusekutheni nje engizwisa ubuhlungu kakhulu ile kamakhelwane nami because lo sisi lo limele nomfowabo bekuyibo boyi-2 bebajwayele ukuzama ukuthi kwenziwe something la endlini. Today mase kungena muntu hayi esinye story.
Hayi baba, sorry for that. Sikhuluma nobani ba?
Two boy Kama.
Thank you very much for joining us on eNCA. That's one of the fathers whose son also got fatally injured in this whole tragic incident that took yesterday around 9 p.m. He's currently telling us that his son is in hospital. He got shot twice, one also in the spinal cord as well. But he says doctors are trying all their best to ensure that they can have his son recover. But also again, he says this is not the first time this has happened. It has happened quite numerous occasions where there's crime in this area and innocent civilians here getting mugged. I can also tell you again, when they have been described, when I spoke to some of the family members earlier on who their loved ones have been fatally compromised in this whole situation, they said that it looks as though it's the very same people who've been causing trauma in this community. But hopefully the police say that they can do something about this. I mean, they say they've unleashed all resources, and hopefully community members they say that they're expecting results. They expect that something must be done to look into this issue and assure that everything is investigated thoroughly.
A statement has just come through, Pule, that the team has provided me an update from the police saying that the death toll has now risen to 7 after one of the hospitalized injured victims of the Finetown shooting has passed away in hospital. Just for clarity's sake, we now know, I've informed of this statement coming out, 7 have now sadly passed away. You have spoken to family members, you spoke to a father of someone who has lost someone. From what you know, from who you've spoken to, who has been lost, who has been injured, based on what you know from the ground. And then just in terms of ages, when we speak about the child of somebody, we don't mean it is a young child that was an innocent bystander, it is the adult child, and so on. What do you know in terms of the information you have on the ground? We know what the police are saying officially. Can you just for clarity's sake sum up for us what you know from who you've spoken to and family members you've spoken to about who was shot and indeed who is in hospital and who sadly has been lost?
Masala, I'm a bit struggling to hear you, but from what I can pick up here, I cannot confirm the 7 suspects who are starred. In fact, I've been speaking to the members of the SAPS as well, and from the revised statements I received, it still says that it's just the 6 who have died. But of course, I will continue to check up on them in terms of getting updates as to what the number has now tallied to. But from who I've spoken to, those are some of the family members who have either lost their loved ones during this fatal incident or have their loved ones in hospital who are injured. One of the fathers who I spoke to just a couple of seconds ago, was saying that his son is still in hospital and that he was told to come tomorrow again to check up on his son. So he did not confirm whether his son had succumbed to the injuries for now. But of course, this is quite a fastly developing story. And once we have any more details, we'll be giving an update as to what happened. But on the ground, it's a very sad, mood that we're experiencing by some of the residents here. Like I said earlier on, most of them quite scared of talking and coming onto camera and telling us about some of the criminal activities that are taking place in this community. This family has been brave to do so, to come on camera and speak to us. And all they want now is just to get proper counseling after one of them had, of course, lost their loved ones in this fatal incident that took place here. And hopefully the police will be on top of this and make those arrests to ensure that this community again can move into the direction of having peace, knowing that these suspects are behind bars.
Okay, we're going to leave it there. Thanks for that update. eNCA reporter Pule Letshwiti-Jones reporting to us live there from Finetown in Johannesburg. Another tragic shooting that has taken place in a South African community. We'll have more news after this. Stay with us.